this event really focused on kind of like a singular idea, singular outcome, and that's that we're not losing on price, we're losing before price is discussed. So this event we're going to call MRT Profit Lab, the Decision Experience, April 22nd and 23rd in Lancaster. Okay. Nice thing about Lancaster is you got two airports really kind of close to where we are. So you can, you have some options as far as getting into town. Um, as I see it, the problem that we avoid as retailers, and it's easy to avoid, is customers don't negotiate because they're difficult. They negotiate because we've trained them to, right? Our industry leads with price. It's what just our industry does. It's what a lot of industries do. But time and again, any industry poll in any industry shows price in the bottom half of the 10 things that motivate them to buy. The things that we have more control over, more control than our competition, more control than online competition, more control than the competition for other things than our customer's wallet, is our environment and how it invites comparison or it doesn't. Does our language invite openness and trust, or does it invite defensiveness? What's our sequence look like? Does it move the person along in their journey? Or are we adding more obstacles, more little things and speed bumps for them to jump over and move through? Delay. So for me, I think price is the symptom, not so much the disease. If we look at a self-diagnosis, right? Now this is a pretty aggressive image I made up. Although I've been in some stores in my days on the road as a rep where I saw signs like this, stores fronts like this. Um, Again, not to say or contradict myself with where I started our time today about how we need to let our customer know there's an event, that there is a sale, what we have, what the offers are. But I think there's a way to organize all of it that moves the customer along to those top five things in their decision process that matter. Okay. Like value, like solving their pain, making the right decision, not making one out of fear or fearful to make a decision. So before a customer speaks to your team, what's your store teach them to expect? Um, you know, Fawad, your full line furniture store, um, Fawad always reminds us to have an event, have an offer. And yet, I think they're winning at a higher level than just an everyday price discounter is because they're giving a great experience. He does come have a margarita with us, come have wine with us. I've seen, I think, painting events in the store. So he uses his store as a hub for customer engagement and community engagement. So before you even speak to your customer, what are they expecting? What have we taught them to do or not to?
Yes, ma'am.
For those that were in attendance with us Saturday in Las Vegas, I really feel we planted a flag about what our events look like, what an MRT, Jeff Janakovo, Mike Capuzzi, Ben McClure event looks like and feels like. You know, RJ, you were there. Fawad, you were there. Well, you got there a little bit late. Who else was there on the line? Ian, you were there. Any thoughts on the event that you might share? Fawad, did you want to share something?
No, I mean, I think it was very well thought of. I mean, it was good. It had the little time that I was there. It had it the questions even that you had asked that you were asking. There was some nice thought process behind it, and got me to at least start thinking. So
Yeah.
that was good. And of course, it was always great listening to Brent.
Yeah. 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 Thank you. Yeah. I mean, if you've picked up some of the things I shared at the event and afterwards, like I shared on Pete's show yesterday, I spent an hour Saturday afternoon from about maybe 2 to 3 o'clock in that room, sitting in the room, in the environment you would be in, even moving around from table to table. How does this feel? How does that look? And then I sat down and I literally moved everybody's name badge around like Tetris pieces because I wanted everybody at their individual tables of six to have the best opportunity to meet new people, not fall into the same clique that, oh, I know you, you know me, let's sit together thing, right? Because we're well past the high school days. We're here to we come to an event like a market to grow and expand our business and our minds, and that's what I wanted to deliver on. So I really feel that event kind of planted a new flag for events. I don't want you to come to April and leave going back to the same way Monday looks, so to say, right? I want you to download the everything that we've got for you and experience it. Because if you're not going to implement it, it kind of just becomes entertainment, it becomes a distraction. Okay. Um, so Profit Lab looks like this. It's 2 days, uh, the 22nd and the 23rd. The mornings we'll spend at the store, both mornings. And then we'll break for lunch and then go to the classroom. And the classroom's right around the corner from us, hotel conference room. Okay. And then we'll spend time there. We'll do some roundtables, we'll do some front of room teaching and learning and some other dynamic and interesting conversation. Um, so not a seminar, right? You don't just observe, you dissect. And I really hung on this word dissect. And then I was reminded, and this might be not the best analogy, but it was really visceral for me. And maybe I don't know about you, but I saw this when I was in middle school and high school when I was in science class and we got the worm out and the frog out. I think we even did a fish, and we dissected a fish, right? And the energy in the room, the excitement in the room, boys and girls alike, leveled up because we all got hands on. Now, your level of openness to dissecting a worm or a frog varied, but the energy of the room raised because we got in the room, we opened up our minds, we experienced new things as a kid in high school doing that science lab. That's what Profit Lab is going to be about. And if you can trust in what I just shared with you about how I sat in the room, how I envisioned the environment, how I envisioned who's at each table, it's the same thing we're going to bring in our 2 days together. So that's just going to be show up and I take you on a tour around the store. We're going to do a lot of interesting things that are going to help you tilt your customer, tilt your market in your favor. Those carnival games where you tilt the table and the ball has to move to the end of the table into the basket. Well, rather than being on this perilous axis, why not just have that be your business where the market shifts to you? And yeah, I'm going to share some numbers with you from our store that we're having month to date and for year to date that I feel back this up. And I don't know many that do this, but I'm going to because I believe in giving you verified information, giving you trusted information, and being somebody that walks the walk and talks the talk. So what we're actually doing, what we look to share to you is engineer that customer experience from the ground up. And sequence of things determines behavior. What they see first, visual cues that establish authority matter. What they feel first, those signs that build trust matter. What they hear first, language that frames decisions matter. And when price appears, right? And timing that eliminates the negotiation. How price appears, where it appears. Again, I bring a lot of interesting and new ideas to this industry. I'm also open to ideas. And, on the financing front, Gordon Hecht is a great mind, somebody you ought to be paying attention to in our industry as well. His financing matrix was fantastic. We expanded it, made a little bit of our own for higher tickets. That single document has, we're doing more financing this year than we ever have before in the same time period. And our financing is way, way up. And we're not doing long financing. It's 24 months or under for the most part. While we advertise higher term, most of our customers just don't want that. They want a little bit of room, but they don't want years and years. And that presentation of that piece has opened up discussion for customers to say, wait, it's only that much a month? Yeah, it's like less than your Netflix, your Hulu, and YouTube TV combined. And like, wow, that's fantastic. When you quantify it with something that in their mind is already like an easy monthly payment, it just happens, and it's less than, and it improves life, we're not negotiating anymore. So this is something I really want to focus on about this core shift. A showroom invites shopping, encourages comparison, delays decisions, and creates negotiation. A decision environment, when everything in the showroom, every part and piece is laid out, schemed, manipulated, if you will, placed, displayed, talked about, felt, touched, sat on, experienced, that invites commitment, reinforces, establishes authority, accelerates decision, and maybe not even necessarily like does that faster, but eliminates the traditional road bumps that somebody brings in, like the person with a stack of papers as thick as this book of flyers and consumer reports. And they now just set that aside because everything else that you're doing disarms everything in their notebook. Because you are a trusted place, all of that begins to protect profit, and we increase more sales, and we become a bigger, better store. Experience is what your store trains customers to do. And those that have been around me for quite some time know that experience is everything for me. It really is. Uh, so the four pillars we'll focus on in our time together: that environmental control, meaning your showroom. So just shifting from the vanilla box, what customers expect, rectangles in a store with neutral tone color walls, bright fluorescent lights, into more of an engineered environment. And even if that's what you've got, there's things we can do, and I'll share with you and we'll show you, to take that feeling away and make it a more trusted, authoritative place that, oh, this is unlike other stores I'm in. Even if you've got neutral tone walls, even if you've got fluorescent lighting. All right. Sequence engineering, right? Order matters more than content. If pricing appears before trust, negotiation becomes automatic. Language and authority, right? How we speak, what we speak, when we speak it, all matters. And we can look to rewrite that first 5 minutes of time with your customers. Profit protection, protect the profit before the sale, right? And then during and after the sale. Most of us only focus on the middle, right? Just writing that ticket. And we can see the revenue go up, but that profit just isn't moving commensurate to revenue. So we'll focus on those pillars intentionally. Live, we'll do some walkthrough in the store. We'll look at where things can break down, where they used to break down. I just had an experience, an emotional feel redo at the store. We got with all of our standard product, because I challenged my guys, and this is a little takeaway within this time together. Show every customer in your store something you're excited about, something that should be in their home, in their life, for their friends or family or coworkers. So we have these products from Stander. I've shared this before with you all. Mobility products, grab poles for the couch, for the bathroom, for the bedroom. Walkers, we sell $400 or $500 walkers. Why? Because they're incredible. When people use them, because they crutch their way in with a cane or that terribleness, and I can speak to this personally because we've got one in the house still. That terrible aluminum gray Medicare walker Medicare gives that my wife got. Uh, those things hurt people more than they help. And when they use ours in the store, because we allow them to, they buy a $500 walker. The point is, we had all that stuff at the front of the store, and I realized I came in one day and I walked in the left door, not the right door. Pattern interrupt, change your habit. Okay, get your brain working. So another little lesson within the lesson here is walk your store differently than you always do. You'll see new things. You'll see things out of place. You'll see things that are breaking down in the environment. Lay down on your beds, look up. Is there a leak over here? Is that tile dirty over there? Is that light bulb out? Okay. But to the point of walking in the left side of my door, not the right side, I'm like, we look like an old people's home. We got lift chairs. We got 3 walkers. On this bed, we got a bed rail. On this one, we got a bed step. And it just looks like we serve old, decrepit people here. We need to fix that. Okay. So we just rearranged some things, but it was a conscious effort. And we'll spend more time in the lab, in the store, of where those decision points break down. What stays and what goes, what moves. I just kind of work through that in that mobility product, lift chair product demonstration with you. Um, we've been updating and moving our lounge and coffee bar and snack bar as of late, testing everything, like what works best and where, and then we'll share why. So as I said, the event is April 22nd to the 23rd. It's in Lancaster. We'll do a combo in the store and then at a hotel. Our investment is $1,495, and we introduced this discount in Las Vegas. I'll extend it here now for members and through the end of the month. $500 savings, so $995. If you need to bring somebody else, a selling manager, a business partner, that would be half of the primary investment. So if to use Tara and Vernon as an example, it would be 1,500 for the both. So 2 for 1 basically at the 1495 price. So 995 with the 495 discount off of that, and then half of the 995 gets you at 1495 basically. All right. 12 retailers. We have application listed. Application, and reach out to me. I don't have a web page up for this yet, but you're all members, so we do have your credit card on file. Email me and say I'm in. I'd like the $500 discount. I want to attend. This is for people that can come to the event and their business is going to run. All right. Who can make this investment, obviously, of travel and hotel. But really, what I want is for people to come who can take what we're going to learn and share with you and implement. Because this isn't like another conference where you go home with some notes and you maybe try a couple little word tracks, a couple little tweaks in display. This is something that ought to change the way your business functions, the way it moves going forward in a tremendously positive way for your business. Where again, you're tilting the market in your favor. You're becoming that, you are that authority. You are the choice. Um, you know, this last line, if competing on price is acceptable, ignore it. If you're happy to do that and that's all you want to do, this is not for you. And I'm okay to say that. And it doesn't mean we're not friends, doesn't mean we can't be friends. It's just not going to be our focus of things. If it isn't, if you're ready to have more of the market come your way in a meaningful way, email me. That's what I mean by apply. I just want to make sure it's a right fit for you, that it's going to be everything you want out of it. Feel free to ask me some questions aside of that, and we can open up for some questions now. But that's what I mean. I just want the right people in the room. I guarded the room in Las Vegas. I had probably about 15 people I turned away. I would say 4 or 5 were retailers that I just knew weren't a right fit. And then the rest were industry that I knew would absolutely not be the right fit and additive to the room. I'm intentional about our events because everybody that's there, I care for. I really want to see leave with impactful information that changes their business in a profound way. All right. I touched on travel logistics. You got 2 airports, Philly and Baltimore. They're 90 minutes. Philly is 90 minutes east of Lancaster. Baltimore is 90 minutes south. So you can kind of choose and zip in, get a car and come in. We'll have a hotel block available for the event. It's a Hilton. There's a Marriott right across the street if you're a Marriott person. And there's plenty of others within 5-10 minutes. You can arrive Tuesday afternoon and evening, and then you can depart Thursday evening. Plan for a 7 o'clock or later flight home. That would be enough time to get back to the airport, drop a car off, etc.